But what I do want to talk about is vacations.
Yeah.
Breaking vacations into business trips. So you're not going on vacation, you're going on a business trip. And I know summer is a time where a lot of times businesses may slow down a little bit. They're traveling with their family, the children are out of school. And so if you've hired your children, like we talked about, then now you go on a business trip and you take your children. You can spend 4 hours talking about the business that work for you, you're doing things, and then the rest of the time you could be at Disneyland. So it's just a great time now to really look at how you employ your family so that you can do some of these things, but they're also learning. That's what I like, that when you hire your children, they get so much experience.
Yes, as you were scrolling through the shows, you recognized today's episode guest name. Katrina is an absolute rock star we've had the pleasure of working with through a special bonus series right here on That Entrepreneur Show. Katrina, so good to see your face and welcome back.
Thank you, Vincent.
It's been a lot of fun to dive into different areas of taxes and financial strategy and investment strategy and everything in between. And we started this leading up to tax season. Now some deadlines are here. We've got some people probably blowing up your inbox, right? Hey, we missed the deadline. What do we do? So don't worry, everyone. We've got tons of value headed your way right here on That Entrepreneur Show. My name is Vincent A. Lancey, and I'd like to welcome you here and thank you for keeping this a top 2.5% global show. It's an honor to be here, an honor to bring back this guest, and we're brought to you by ComingAlive Podcast Production.com. Head there today to get your journey started, just like this show. And for today, Katrina, I kicked this off saying, hey, some deadlines have just passed. Unfortunately, not everyone met that deadline. What the heck should they do first?
Yes, so there are some deadlines that have passed, but there are still some that are coming. In fact, tomorrow, for many states, your franchise tax may be due, your corporate tax may be due. So you need to make sure you know your deadlines for your state. I know in Texas, our franchise tax are due. And so there are things that you need to make sure, not only your federal, you need to understand your state obligations as a employee.
So you're saying that even though I'm in one state, I still have to follow laws federally, right? What are some federal laws that are applying to maybe entrepreneurs who are tuning into this podcast?
Yeah, so as far as filing late, please make sure you file because there is a filing penalty. So the later you file, those penalties continue to accumulate as well as interest. So that's huge. A lot of people feel like, okay, I just missed a deadline and they give up. But remember that the clock keeps ticking and that interest and the penalties continue to accrue. So please just, if you have not filed, don't just wait and delay. The other important part is you need to make sure that if you have money that you need to pay as much as you can, even if you can't pay the full balance, it's better to pay something so that interest is not as much on unpaid taxes than if you just wait, it's just going to snowball. So always say act. Don't feel like, oh, I missed it and just delay. Do something so that you can at least reduce some of those penalties and interest that you'll face.
Amazing advice there. And everyone, if you missed the first few episodes of this series, no worries. I'll put them in the episode description here. We'll revisit this at the end. But if you're saying to yourself, hey, I did miss this deadline, I don't have professional help right now, write it down as we're listening, KatrinaMCraft.com. So you go there and learn more about everything she has to offer. And throughout each show, which I've enjoyed most, Katrina, is you've taught me something new on each episode. And I know you've strategized and planned on what to say on which episode. So now, as we're talking about these topics, I'll pass the mic over to you.
All right. Thank you. So today, let's dive deeper into equipment. I know that April 15th, if you did file in time, hopefully you did not have a surprise bill. One thing we do want to make sure of is that we plan ahead of time. I have clients in December, we may know that you're going to owe. So what we're doing is we're planning. We're planning ahead to say, okay, I needed equipment going into 2026. Let's go ahead and purchase that equipment. So the same thing can be done now. 2027, maybe you're having an excellent year and you need some equipment. Like you're getting ready to do a podcast. So you may need cameras, lighting, computers, mics, all those things. Look at those expenses because they are a deduction in your business. You can do 100% up to a certain amount called a 179 deduction. And that's really great for individuals that need equipment in their business. So not only the creative side, but maybe you have some machinery that you need. The good thing is you can even use your credit card, or if you get a loan for the equipment, it's still deducted in the year that you actually take possession of the item. That is a tip. If you try to wait until December 31st, like I know a lot of people were rushing to get a car, if you don't take possession of that car in that year, you cannot deduct it. So make sure you don't wait, you plan ahead, you strategize, and you look at those types of items that you may need in your business.
I love that. Thank you for sharing, everyone. Be sure to subscribe to this podcast so you don't miss episodes like today. We had a full episode, I remember, on deductions, but what are some non-obvious deductions that the regular person might have and not be utilizing it? You just shared a great one, like, hey, you're investing in equipment for your business. There is a special tax write-off for that, but you don't know that unless you work with a professional like Katrina. So please.
Yeah, it's so many deductions. And the part about it, the tax code is 7,000 pages. And when you think about all of the supplemental, some people think it's like over 60,000 pages. So there's so many deductions. And what I find is if you have a bookkeeper, their job is to record, their job is not to strategize. You really need to work with someone that knows your business so we can help you say, have you thought about these types of deductions for your business? Each industry is different. Like I gave an example of there was a person who deducted his cat as a deduction. And I was like, no way the IRS allowed that. But they did because he was a junkyard owner and he said his cat kept the rats away so the customers could come. And so you really need to understand what's ordinary and necessary for your business to know what's a deduction. We've talked about home office. We've talked about the Augusta rule. We talked about hiring your children.
We did.
And I don't know if we talked about travel as much, but I love the travel deduction. There's certain things you can do like cruises. Okay. So there's special rules for cruises and there's special rules for international travel. It's not the same. And a lot of people think, oh, I'll take a cruise and I can just write 100% of it off. That is not the case. You really need to understand if there are certain trainings on that cruise that may qualify. And then when you get off the boat, you have to have some type of meeting. I just had a client, she took her staff, it was 6 of them, on a cruise, but I told her, you need to have a meeting when you get off that ship. And she did. So that's the thing you need to know ahead of time. If you wait until it's too late and you come to me and you say, I took a cruise, well, I'm going to ask you, did you have that meeting? And the answer is probably going to be no. That's why I like to work with my clients year round. It's not just a one-time tax time situation because things are happening throughout the year and you may have questions on if you can deduct it. And I'm talking to you because I'm looking at your books and I'm seeing the types of transactions that you may be making. And I'm asking additional questions of things you may not have even known that you're missing. So it is important to work with a tax strategist. And some people feel like I'm not making enough money to work with the tax strategist. What I say is at least have one meeting where they're looking behind the hood. Like I say that sometimes I'm the Wizard of Oz, I'm behind that curtain. And so let me come behind that curtain and control some of the things that's happening Like right now, I'm getting ready to do a webinar, and one of the promotions that I'm gonna have is a 497 offer that allows someone to come and talk to me for an hour because maybe they're not at the point where they need me. Like most of my clients, we're talking every month. But if you just need a one-time look under the hood type of strategy, look back at your tax returns, that's what I'm offering now to go along with my webinar.
Well, that's exciting. You heard it first right here on That Entrepreneur Show. She has a lot to offer. As I said on her website, we will revisit that again coming soon. But Katrina, I want to pivot to something that I think can help so many in a different lens. You become this expert podcast guest, right? Not only here on That Entrepreneur Show, but she's done tons of them, working with it, promoting her services, making a difference through free education. What are some of the benefits you find of being a podcast guest on shows like this today?
It's really good because I do get to talk about my love and my passion. And a lot of times we don't know what other people want to know. So a good interviewer is going to pull those things out of me because I'm thinking, oh, this is things that people have heard everywhere. And when you ask me the questions, maybe in different ways, is very helpful. So I do love being on podcasts. It also opens doors for maybe people I can work with. Like I'm working with you on certain things, and you introduce me to people. That's a great way when you're doing podcasts to just have more visibility. So not only for about what you're doing and what your offer is, but connecting with other people as well. And you're really growing your atmosphere and your environment of who you connect with. And it's probably people you wouldn't meet locally. It is people that are everywhere. And a lot of them are on the same journey that you're on, especially if you're a business owner.
I appreciate you sharing all that and the kind words. Everyone, the added visibility, you can't put a price on that. That this episode goes live, someone in France or India who you never know, someone's going to tune in and that could be the missing client. And you also talked about the introductions. And of course, where I love entrepreneurship because it's the only industry where it doesn't matter if the other person is doing, quote, better than you, right? When I was in corporate, you want to look better than that cubicle right next to me, right? We're all trying to grow businesses, help each other grow, everyone. And that's what that entrepreneur show is all about. So thank you for sharing that, Katrina. Now, going into summer, right? Spring into summer, is there anything that we need to know? Any additional dates, any filing opportunities, any maybe grants that you encourage your clients to go after? Anything that we should be on the lookout, as I know you are the expert here?
Well, I'm not going to talk about the grants. I'm not privy into all the grants. I get the different information about grants and I share with my clients. But what I do want to talk about is vacations,
Yeah.
breaking vacations into business trips. So you're not going on vacation, you're going on a business trip. And I know summer is a time where a lot of times businesses may slow down a little bit. They're traveling with their family, the children are out of school. And so if you've hired your children, like we talked about, then now you go on a business trip and you take your children. You can spend 4 hours talking about the business that work for you. You're doing things. And then the rest of the time you could be at Disneyland. So it's just a great time now to really look at how you employ your family so that you can do some of these things, but they're also learning. That's what I like, that when you hire your children, they get so much experience. I just met with another CPA and she said her son is such an entrepreneur. He was selling candy to other students like at the elementary age, like 10 years old, when washing out trash cans. And so it builds that entrepreneur spirit, and probably because he saw his mother in business that really incentivize him to want to do it. So I think it's a great way for children to learn. Then you doing your travel, but it's a business trip. And make sure that you have your board meetings and all that good stuff so that it passes the IRS guidelines.
I'm very glad we revisited this. Everyone, again, in the show description, scroll down to catch all her other shows because there's unique tips in each. But we previewed this and we're heading back into it as we're summer. I think that's just so amazing to know and how you can strategically do this. And that's just, again, the tip of the iceberg with all the great things that Katrina can offer. Again, I mentioned her website, KatrinaMCraft.com. Those are two C's in Katrina and Craft. Is there anywhere else we could find you?
You can find me on my website, KatrinaMCraft.com. So that's a great place. And I am having a webinar coming up. I'm going to be doing them various Tuesdays throughout the summer. And so just stay tuned, get on my mailing list, and make sure that you join the webinar. It's going to be great.
All right. Well, congratulations. Is that mailing list available on KatrinaMCraft.com?
Yes, and you can sign up. It's a tax and wealth letter that comes out every week. And if you sign up for that, you'll be in the know. Make sure you sign up for the webinar. We have limited seating and we will go from there. But it's going to be some great tips and meeting great people on there. So I'm very excited about it.
Well, I'm excited for you, everyone. Please remember to show her love and remember to subscribe to stay current, but also please share this episode with someone that you know needs the value inside. We are on all social media and always streaming every week on thatentrepreneursshow.com. Katrina, can't thank you enough for coming on for another episode. And again, everyone, one more time, all the old episodes that have come out before today are in the description, and the next one's coming soon. So thanks, Katrina.
Thank you, Vincent.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode. I would love to hear your feedback. What did you love? What do you want to see more of? Are there any questions you would like me to ask the guests who come on the show? This show is not possible without you, the amazing listeners, so please email us at podcastsbylancy@gmail.com and let us know what you think. We'll also feature you on a later show. Please remember to subscribe to stay current with our amazing community of guests who will continue to come on the show, sprinkled in with solo episodes from me, Vincent A. Lancy. With that, I look forward to introducing more shows to you each and every week. And with that, we're signing off today. Enjoy the episodes and make it a great day ahead.